Here's the most important part here. Why was this guy showing up at a place where ICE was present, trying to enforce the law? Of course, he was trying to disrupt things, and he shows up armed. Do you think it's smart? When ICE is trying to enforce the law, do you believe that it's smart to show up armed? And a lot of people, I'm seeing these comparisons online. Well, it's just like Kyle Rittenhouse showing up in protests after George Floyd. And didn't we back him when he shot someone? Well, we did, but he showed up specifically because there was no law enforcement present. That's why he was there. And I'll tell you, I wasn't the one who was the first out of the gate saying, hey, we got to defend Kyle Rittenhouse to the hilt. The more we learned about it, the more it looked like he was the one who was being hunted down and just defended himself. That's what we learned over time. And I think people who knee-jerk defended him it was a bit rash. It worked out for you if you did. But this is completely different because this guy is showing up as part of a group of people who are intentionally trying to disrupt ICE, trying to enforce our laws, and doing so while armed with a lot of ammunition. Now, why would you want to do this if you do not have a death wish? And that begs the question, did he have a death wish? Maybe not. I don't know. I've never met or talked to Alex Preddy. But I'll tell you, maybe the next person will. And that's why I'm putting a marker down on this. Because if you saw the media reaction online, it's not just the establishment news. It's not just the celebrity class who did their perfunctory, this is an outrage, we got to defund ICE. It's not just far left politicians. But you're really starting to see this one penetrate into the broader culture. And I make a point to have my political followers I follow on social media, and also just general people in sports, entertainment, hobbies. And you saw a lot of people coming out against ICE over the weekend. A lot of protests on the 5 freeway when I'm driving down to the studio, people putting up poster boards, defund ICE, F ICE, not the letter, using the word. All that's happening. So the left feels like they've got a cultural moment here, and they're doing it with martyrs. Left-wing activists who are showing up knowing that they're inviting violence from ICE on purpose. They're doing it intentionally because they believe that the media and the public and the broader cultural consensus will force feed people the notion that all this is ICE's fault. It's not the Somali fraudsters that ICE is trying to crack down on, and is not these organized networks of leftists that are trying to intentionally disrupt law enforcement operations. Because they feel like if they get harmed, then they will be martyrs for the cause. They will create energy for their left-wing causes. Now, I'm not saying this guy wanted to die or thought he was going to die, but I'm telling you that if he wanted to, he would not have behaved any differently.